Good morning. How are you all this morning? Good morning. I'm walking and I'm just thinking, sometimes people end up hurting other people. You know, I know right now there's a lot of unforgiveness in people, but sometimes I want you just to stop and think, should I be praying for this person or about this person? Like, is this person hurting you on purpose or is it all they know? Some people, all they knew was pain when they grew up. And I'll give you an example. My son, his father, his mom passed away when he was like 7 years old. Father wasn't around. He just didn't have anybody that he could depend on. He don't know what love is. Now, my son has never had his father the way that he needs to have him because he was never shown that. Later, he got on drugs and he's been on drugs for a long time. So my son lost out on his father because his father dealt with a lot of pain along with other kinds of pains. And instead of saying, hey, I'm not going to do my child the way that I was done. There's a lot of us who say we're going to treat our kids different. And that is my case. But for him, he did the only thing that he knew, which was abandonment. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy that... And he begged for a child, It's not that he didn't want a child, but he really just didn't know how to love anybody. Could that person that's in your life that's hurting you, like actually not know better, but just need to do better? Another example I'll give, my ex-husband. Like I tell people, I do not hate him. I do not have a problem with him. I don't deal with him. I pray for him. So he told me something, and at first I thought it was like a cop-out, He said, I really just don't know how to love anybody. I'm never going to be able to just love you how you want to be loved, And that's true for so many people. It's not that they intend to hurt you or even really know how bad they're hurting you. Now, and if they're deceiving you and things like that, yes, they mean to lie. They mean to do those things. But sometimes they don't realize the pain goes so deep. Sometimes we don't need to hold on so tight to the things that people have done. I mean, some of you, and I did it too for a long time. But some of you are holding on to something. And these people are dead and gone. You're still holding on. You're still holding on to what they did. And it's affecting everything about you. It's affecting how you raise your kids. It's affecting how you live. It's just affecting you. Now, it's not hurting them anymore. Some of them don't care. They moved on. But you haven't. And you always say, well, it's okay, it's okay. Well, is it really? Is it really okay? You have to get to a point where you learn to be okay with it, really. Like, genuinely pray for that person. Ask them to, ask the Lord to forgive them because they know not what they do. You have to get closure within your heart. Means healing. You have to get healing. If every time you think about that person, it shifts your attitude, you're not healed, honey. Is there something that your mother did to you, and everything a man does or another person that offends you, you go right back to this, to that thought of your mom and what she did? You're not healed. Healing is necessary to go to the next level in your life. It really is. You're not going to be able to do a lot without being healed. Now, my son learned at an early age that people will do things. You know, they're going to do things that are going to be hurtful. And I try to tell him, please forgive. Always leave room to forgive somebody, because we're not perfect either, by any means. Some of you expect people to be perfect. You expect them never to do wrong. And you yourself are not like that. You can't expect something that you can't give. We have so many expectations of people, and that'll lead to failure. It will lead to failure. So I guess today, what I'm trying to say is be gentle. Be a little gentle. I know that person hurt you. And I'm not saying that the pain is not, I'm not saying that the pain is not valid. I know you've been hurt. Or you've been violated. That molestation happened years ago. You're 50 years old. And it happened when you were 7. At what point do you find peace? You can't have a relationship. You're not good with other people. You're still guarded. And I know, like, when you're out of the relationship, when you're fresh out of the relationship, you learn to go on with the pain. Like when I left my ex, I went on with the pain, but it devastated me. And because it devastated me, I knew to pray about it. I cried it out. I did all those things, but I let it go. I let that go. I can tell a story about it, but I'm not being hateful about it. Ladies, and I'm talking to my ladies today because a lot of you all, you're holding on. And believe it or not, that person didn't even know they hurt you that bad. They done it so many times before to somebody else. But most of all, they just don't know better. So do me a favor today and forgive. Forgiveness is for you. I love you, sis.